So every now and then a weird idea comes into my mind, and then I have to skip everything else in order to finish that idea. Exactly this has happened with the build you see in front of you. We are going to build a diving area with 3 different types of animals, which I'm going to talk about in a couple minutes. But first of all, let's talk about the build instead. It's going to be a 3 pond area, so to say, where we've got 3 tanks with 3 different animals. These are the Mediterranean monk seal, which is a mod. It's a beautiful mod. We are going to have the grey seal, obviously, and the sea lion. It's going to be very exciting, but oh boy, did I come across a lot of challenges in this build. Now, not only that the game did make me go nuts every now and then. We also had this on stream, so if you guys caught me on stream, you will know exactly the pain. So I have cut out all the pain for you because, well, the pathing over here, as you can tell, already has changed a million times, and this is already somewhat the final version, but trust me, I have done this a couple million times until I was happy. I'm using Freebuild, but that didn't help too much because, well, Freebuild has a couple of caveats with it when it comes to path building, so you can build a proper free forming path, but it doesn't connect to path that is, well, actually allowed. So there's obviously the path that would be allowed from the game, and then there's the path you place with Freebuild, and as long as you continue one line of path, it's all good, but as soon as you want to connect them, and you want to connect them in an area that technically isn't possible, it's not possible to do anyways, even though you have Freebuild enabled. So it still caused a lot of trouble, but that's not even the biggest trouble we have to talk about. Holy crap, if Frontier is, any one of you is listening to the videos, please stick with me now for the next couple of minutes. I have to elaborate on a topic that drove me absolutely nuts in this video. So you will see me filling in the water in here. It's been, you know, tricky, but not more tricky than usual. Until you find the exact point, it's fine. Okay, we can deal with that. But what I cannot deal with, oh god, okay, so next minute will be insane, is the traversable area and the diveable area of these seal types of animals. I mean, I do believe they all base on the same skeleton kind of rig model, so it makes sense that they have all the same issues, which didn't make the situation better for me, but apparently it was nearly impossible to build good-looking habitats with rocks, because as soon as you put a single rock in here, everything is broken. I'm not sure if you've seen my stream, but for those of you who've been in the stream, you know that there was this huge pond which had like way more space than you know, required, but still the sea lions wouldn't dive until I deleted a rock which was all the way to the side of the habitat, like all the way. It just barely touched the water, and when I deleted this single rock, the whole game was like, yeah, now I can dive. So I'm not sure what these rocks caused to these animals, not sure what exactly is happening, but it is impossible to build anything with rocks or fake rocks or anything in here for the animals. You can see I'm trying my best here to build a good looking sea lion habitat, but the end result, you're gonna see this in a nice flyover today. I needed to be very creative in order to make things look good without blocking the traversable area too much. I've been building a lot with decals and stuff just to make sure it looks somewhat rocky, even though without having rocks. At this point in time, you can see in the video, I'm still putting down rocks as if it was working. Spoiler, it wasn't. Oh my god, it's not good at all. It didn't work so good. You will see that once I'm checking traversable area. There you go. Ah, beautiful little piece of blue. Yeah. So the more I tested, the more I went around, it was almost impossible to get the animals to walk. You can see, like, everything was blocked. I put a ramp in, even the ramp didn't work, and then I put them there and everything was blocked, and yeah, it just took ages to really get these things working. The sea lion potentially is the easiest one to deal with, but the other ones, the seals, it's just ridiculous. But yeah, I just need to talk about that. It takes away so much of the fun of building these habitats. I mean, yes, they are not the best on land. They can't really move so nicely on land. They are more like the animals who dive, but they can at least go above a centimeter of elevation. That is possible in real life, so please make them at least go on a rock or something. That would be fantastic. Anyways, let's talk about more positive things. This entire area was a huge challenge for me because I wanted to really keep the Sicilian vibe going on while having relatively nice looking, standard looking, like, you know, these kind of habitats that you would build for sea lions and seals. The problem though is still because of the diveable area that is requiring so much space. I needed to become I needed to, you know, get very creative with what I try to achieve. Yeah, it's been super hard to achieve the goal that I had in my mind, because all of these habitats you will find on Zoo Chat and stuff, they are super rocky. They use a lot of rocks for them to chill on and to relax on, but since the rocks don't work, I needed to see something else. And you know, these pier pieces over here, these wooden floating platforms, they obviously work like a charm, but yeah, they just immediately scream California to me, and I didn't want to do that. I mean, obviously it's a Californian sea lion, hey, that makes sense, but I wanted to maintain this like Sicilian look, and so these kind of pier things don't really fit in. I have them just as like a little bit of help for the traversable area. You can see me checking this. Yeah, I can't even say how many times, but I checked this way too often. So yeah, you can definitely tell that this was a huge struggle. I tried my very best to come up with some ideas that fix the issue of having the traversable area, but yeah, it took like ages. And also, one of the plants over here was one of these bushes, I forgot which one it was, acts almost like elephant grass, so it blocks everything away. Yeah, a huge pain. And then I found this kind of rock thing I used in the hyena area, which I just took because I thought it looks nice, and apparently these rocks, I think these are these stalagmite and stalactite pieces. They seem to be very, very nice. They work super nice. Alright, I just need to get my voice right again here. My god, these pollen allergy thingies causing my voice to crackle down quite hefty after a couple of minutes of talking. I tried my very best already with like nose spray. Is that the same in English? Do you say nose spray? I don't know, in German it's like basically literally translated nose spray. Whatever. It does help a little, but not too much. Yeah, just gotta get through this time. Speaking of getting through, this is the exact opposite. Once I had this first habitat in place, the fun part began, and that was mixing the different foliages, types of foliage and stuff together to really come up with a nice look that I wanted to achieve. And I really think I nailed it at the end of the day. I'm at least very pleased with the outcome. I'm very pleased with the overall area. By the way, if you're waiting for a real-time part today, it's not in. There are a couple of reasons for that. So first, we are going to have a nice flyover in which I'm going to do like the little outro. But the second thing is there's so much little things I want to do as a little surprise for you the next episode that I decided against the tour, because this whole area already demands a full tour on its own. So I'm going to keep on working on this area. There are some surprises planned for the outsides and the transition from the one to the other area. There are so many cool things in my head. I did a lot of testing. I can already tell it works, but it requires quite a bit of work. So I will definitely do this in the next episode of Zoo Sicily, so make sure to stay with me, and if you like this stuff, you may consider subscribing if you haven't already, because that helps you get informed when the next video drops, because apparently YouTube doesn't push my stuff at all. Yeah, it's not really exactly helping me, so yeah, you better subscribe to see that, I guess. But on the other hand, this area let alone is already worth a look at, so this is why I have the little flyover. It works pretty decently at the end of the day. I tried a lot of things to really make sure it all looks the way I had it in my mind. I did a little concept art, which I will upload for the members of the channel if you want to see that one. You either become a member or subscriber on Twitch or whatnot. I'll put that in sneak peeks so you can have a little look off. And also, if you've been in the stream, I also showed it real quick in the stream. So yeah, a little bit of exclusive stuff, I guess, here, even though it's not super exclusive. Whatever, if you want to see that, you can find it there. I'm gonna put it in. And yeah, you can see I tried a couple of things here as a variant for the underwater view of the Mediterranean Monkseal. I wanted to give them like a little bit of a special viewing, while the other ones are having the very like open plaza. I wanted to give the Monkseal, as it is obviously the most local one, a special treatment. There is like a little underground view. I might put a little of an education point in there. I haven't done this quite yet, but this would be a perfect spot. We've got a little seating area there, and at the end of the video we are going to work a little bit more on the inside of this nice little underwater viewing. I think it's really good because it just sparks so many different styles in here. Working with a lot of these pieces I already used throughout the zoo to ensure that it kind of ties into the overall feel, but then again I wanted to make it new and different, and I think both things just kind of worked by mixing a lot of new elements I put in here, but also mixing a couple of the old things and then blending that in with the area is just, I guess, really nice. Gosh, the nosy voice is really annoying me too. I hope it doesn't really annoy you. I know that it mostly annoys me more than anyone else, but still it does. So hopefully it's fine for you. Yeah, putting a couple of mulch pieces everywhere so that it looks nice. And then, as I said, I'm just trying to blend in everything nicely, have a bit of an overgrown, almost broken kind of wall vibe going on here, blending into this very clean looking circular underground viewing. I'm not even sure how I should call that. It's like a raised viewing platform that has like a below viewing platform below. I don't know. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's kind of a nice little thing. It's borrowed from a lot of areas that are known in real zoos, where you have like this raised area, and then you also have a way to go down. And if you've watched my video with the inspiration for underground viewing, this is one of the most common used tricks in real life zoos to ensure that you have a good view of the habitat from above, but also have a nice clean underground viewing with little light distortion, because that is mostly the problem. In direct sunlight, it might be that underground viewing isn't really as exciting as it could be, simply because the light might cause some reflections on the screens and on the walls, and on the glass, and you don't really want that. So you better try to have like a shade or something in front of it, just to make the overall just kind of viewing experience better. But apparently I don't have that for the other two. Well, that's not completely true. I do have a little bit of a side viewing of the sea lions as well, which is a bit of a nicer view inside there as well, inside of the wall. I think you've seen the building process, and the other wall is also behind the sun, so it should be better, like it's not in direct sunlight. So both of them have a little bit of thought put into it, but frankly I have to say that I also judge the animals by, at least for me personally, their rate of interest, and so for me personally, the Monkseal is the most interesting one, because that's the one living in this region anyway. So technically, if this whole project would be real, you could also just turn around, look into the open sea, and maybe with a bit of luck you would see them there. But on the other hand, I also like the sea lions generally just a lot. I love them in zoos, I love them in general, I like them how playful they are, and just like that, it's a really good animal in zoos. And then we have the gray seal, which is not really far off those two, but maybe I'm just a little bit fed up, because it's been maybe one of the most used animals in Planet Zoo, because it's been the first real diving animal that is mostly in the water. That's the way you have to call it. We obviously, with the aquatic pack back then, we also got the penguin, but the penguin does also love to run around quite a bit. And these fellas, the gray seal, they are just like a lot in the water, and if not, they're just like lying on their sides, putting their little fluke or fin, not sure is it fin or fluke, in the air, and just relax for a bit. Very sympathetic, to be honest. I would love to do that a lot more often as well, but apparently not possible at the moment. Gosh, have I said how much time this freaking project cost me? Now let me just quickly speak about that while we are doing a lot of detailing in the background. This one has completely crashed all my plans. I'm not sure. So if you're skipping here, for whatever reason you should do that, but if you're skipping here, you just listen to me how long it took me, okay? So please appreciate this. I had so many plans for this week. There's also a couple of other things coming, but I could not do anything else because my mind was like, nope, Rudi, no, you gotta finish that now. No, don't watch F1. No, stick with me, build this project. And so I was like, okay, at least I found a new audiobook for me. Might talk about that one a little bit more in the next episode. But it's... my brain forced me to do that, and every time I opened the game I had a different idea, and I changed a couple of things, and so till this point there are already 15 hours that gone into this project, and it's been only this week, and I had a little bit less sleep than I should, I guess, but it's still okay. I focused quite a lot. But still, 15 hours that went into it, that was ludicrous. And today, I actually, yesterday I put the tweet out that the episode won't be out by today. So actually by yesterday, it should be. And I kept building there, and I kept building this morning, and oh boy, it's just taking so many ages. And now I decided, okay, I gotta have to end this somewhere, because otherwise this is just going places. Yeah, I love it, and I really hope you guys love it, and I really hope that this might be the episode that brings the channel up to a little bit more of life again. My channel is just again dead. I think it's it's the normal way of how Planet Zoo at this point works, simply because there's like a DLC, and then there's like a week or two of interest into the game, and then that's that, which is fine. It's an old game, I still love it to bits, but I think we just need something new in the future, but we're not there yet. We need to get the best out of it, and oh boy, am I happy with this project. Zoo Sicily also for me now finally overtook Yosemite. Like maybe it's been the emotional connection I had to Yosemite, maybe it's been the sheer amount of hours that went into it, but for the longest time of this project, Zoo Sicily, I still had the feeling, yeah, maybe Yosemite was better though, but it wasn't. Like, if you just look at it from the pure quality standards of what I want to do in the zoo and the concept and how many things come into play, this project obviously here far outweighs Yosemite in so many ways. In Yosemite there are also some design flaws in there. Most of them I fixed, but there are still some of the early design flaws I did are still in there. Surely this zoo over here will have some design flaws as well. However, most of them that we already have in the zoo are fully intentional, where I was like, I'm just not gonna fix that because certain things, they fit into the law of the zoo, so we can do it that way. Yeah, I did speak about shading a little bit earlier in today's video, but I thought I should also put this into another part, and this is here another very important moment to talk about that, simply because shading is also important for your animals. Now, they do want to lie outside, and they do enjoy the sun quite a bit, but also in the Mediterranean Sea, and with climate change and stuff even more, there is a lot of heat coming together in the summer, and so I was like putting down a couple of shades for the animals to have some spots where they can chill outside and just enjoy a bit of shade, and so they don't have to go all the way back to their shelter, or rob, I guess it's the better word for those animals. So yeah, just in general, since they don't move that well on land, I wanted to give them a bit more opportunities where they can actually have a little chill. And so yeah, I'm starting here to do a little bit of the alley, but this is just for pure background reasons for the screenshot of today's episode. This is by any means the finished alley. Don't worry, this alley is going to be, yeah, I would lean out of the window as much as saying that this might be the iconic Zoo Sicily alley. This is the definition of the style of Sicily that we are going to continue through the entire zoo. So it's obviously going to borrow a lot of what we had, but it's going to bring in a couple of new elements that we didn't have. And at the end of this alley will be something you guys have asked for since the very beginning of Zoo Sicily. I hate myself for doing that already, because that's going to take another freaking ages, but that's okay. We are going to get there at some point. Yeah, don't expect me to do that in the next episode, but yeah. Last thing I found, and this is, I was looking for solutions to make this whole area look a bit more characteristic, a bit more nice, without putting rocks in. As I said, rocks are the death of this area, and this would be so easy to put a couple more rocks in to make it look really a lot more like these real life habitats, but I just couldn't. So I was checking a lot of images, and I was like, okay, there is something I found. The ground needs to be a little bit more dirty and scratches and stuff like that, even though it's in water. Every now and then they would open that up and just clean it. You may see that the vertical parts of the tank are still somewhat realistic in terms of that there is like dirt and stuff. Usually you would need to cover that in full rocks or like in a full concrete wall. But I didn't do that to maintain the diving of the animals, otherwise it's not possible. So I will find a solution for that hopefully in the future, but for now I don't. And a couple of these backstage areas needed to be added as well, imagining that there are some indoor sections for them as well. This one's going to be like a longer tunnel over here, by the way. More about that in the next episode. However, this is that, guys, and now we have a nice little flyover for today's ending scene of the video. I am mega happy with how that turned out. You can see this now. A lot of people strolling around over here. I needed to ensure to leave the game running for a couple of hours so that this area isn't the craziest area. As you know, once you put a couple new animals in, everyone is storming here, and so that looks freaking unrealistic. So yeah, but I love the vibe. I love how clean it looks by now. This plaza in the center really came out very nicely, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. So if you did enjoy today's episode, I would really enjoy welcoming you guys as a member of the channel, or as a subscriber of the channel, I should say. If you want to have some sneak peeks, some early look at some things, you may become a member actually of the game. You can do so. The channel, my god, I'm broken. You can do so clicking below on the membership button. There are a couple of nice things you get. That would be an additional support for me. But other than that, I really hope you just enjoyed this video. You may want to enjoy another video, click one of the cards, and if not, just have a wonderful day, I guess. So I see you in the next one. Have a good one. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.